Hello there, it's Jay here from Jay's Vintage Junk, and today we'll have a new computer arrive for the collection. So what I thought we'd do in this video is get in here, have a look what I've got, get it set up and give it a test. Basically see whether it's in the work. Basically this is meant to be in working order. It's tatty but in working order. I've got another exact same one of these, which is in quite nice condition, but is rather poorly. Let's put it that way. So let's get in here and let's have a quick look what I've bought. Now, this wasn't really a computer I was looking for. I mean, I've always keep my eye out for them because I want a nice working one for my collection. But I wasn't specifically going on eBay looking for this. The only reason I snapped it up was it was on Buy It Now. The seller seemed really quite genuine, and the price was what I consider quite reasonable for what it is. Because, like with the Amigas, these are starting to get a little bit on the pricier side. It's not like a few years ago when we could pick these old computers up for literally just a few pounds. It's now, you know, we're talking a chunk of cash now to even get something that's possibly not working, possibly restorable. You know, you never know. And what are coming on the market now tend to be in, shall we say, the rougher end of the condition. And this isn't perfect by any way, shape or form. The case on this is not in good condition, and in the listing it did say, you know, quite clearly that the case isn't good. But what we've got, oh, it come with a, that's nice. It's come with a power lead, which I wasn't expecting. That's really good. But what we've got here, and it's really nice and well packed. You know, the seller's done a good job on packing it, I've got to say that. Ooh, plenty of bubble wrap. Ooh, little bit on the rattly side, but I'm not too worried about that. Let's providing the actual main board works. Ugh. So what have we got? We have got, let's cut in here. I'm just going to try and find out what's rattling. An Atari ST. Yeah, the case is bad on it. It's been glued together multiple times apparently, and yeah, I think it's broken even more so in transit. Oh dear me, it has. It was not like that on the listing. This has had a right smash on the listing. Oh dear me. Yeah, that's not good. So in the and it was fairly decent. The courier must have given it a right drop. That's proper bashing. In fact, I'll take a quick. I mean, I'm not too worried. Seller wise, will probably just get in contact on eBay because it was quite listed in the listing that it had some cracks in where the keyboard's around, but this has been dropped. I mean, this has quite blatantly been dropped. It's smashed to pieces. That's a little bit disappointing. But I weren't actually, to be totally honest, I'm not bothered about the case. I have a really nice Atari ST case with a problem motherboard in it. But that's the whole reason I went for this. Like I said, it was reasonably cheap. I paid just under £40 for it, including postage. which for now I think STs are getting like Amigas. They're starting to go for even the basic models in nice working order for like the £100 mark. A little bit more than I'm prepared to pay on an old computer for my collection. But the one of these I've got, it's exactly the same. It's a 520 ST, and it basically there's a problem with the boarding. It's actually warped. I don't know what's happened to it. It's one that I picked up many years ago from a car boot sale for like £3 or £4. When I did try and get it working a few years, I think I've done a video on it trying to get it working, and sometimes it'd fire up, sometimes it'd fire up and just give like a blank green screen. And what I found out it was, basically the entire board in it's warped. If you place pressure on the board in certain places, you can actually get it to fire up. It's not just a cracked joint on one of the ICs or something like that. I've been all over the board. I think there's actually either one of the internal layers has got a break in it, or it's inside one of the wires, but I can't find it. You can wedge the board so it works, and after about half an hour it'll work fine, and after about half an hour it'll just start crashing again as the board heats up and obviously warps and moves. It's been a night. I've spent hours trying to figure that board out, but I basically just thought it'd be easy just to get one that's a bit trashed. I weren't expecting trash like that. A bit trashed, but obviously with a working board in it. I'll probably also use the power supply out of mine, because I mean I completely rebuilt the power supply, recapped it. The voltages are spot on it. But apparently this works. Apparently the disk drive works in it. The keyboard works even though it's got a missing key. The only problem is the case was tatty on it. Like I said, it was well described in the listing that it was broken in these places, there, and there. But like I said, this has obviously happened in transit. I mean, it was not like that on the listing when I saw it. It's completely smashed to pieces, to be fair. Yeah, I mean, it really is smashed up, but I'm not too worried about that. Providing the rest of the computer actually works. So what I've done, I've dug my Atari tank mouse out. Again, this is pretty well untested. I did have it working a little bit on when my one was working, so we do have a mouse to test it. Might even plug a joystick in if I've got one knocking round down here. And I've also got now I don't normally buy leads for computers. I normally just make my own, but I really didn't want to solder that connector up there, so I went to Retro Computer Shack and bought a ST to SCART cable. I mean, I got this for my other ST, I just had it in stock. So that means we can actually connect the ST up to a SCART input. In fact, let's start getting this thing plugged in, and then at least we can see whether it's going to do something. And we have to be a bit careful with it, obviously, now with the fact that that's smashed up. But let's mouse. Have I got a joystick just kicking about around here? I think I should have, because I was looking about with the Amiga with one, weren't I? Let's see if we've got a joystick. I'm going to be annoyed if I haven't. Ooh, joystick. Oh, I can't find a joystick just at this second, so well, at least we've got a mouse plugged in, so we can try that, can't we? Right, what else do we need? We need some power, don't we? It came with a power cable. Let's see what fuse is in there. We'll do like we did on that that Amiga that we looked at. Let's have a quick look what fuse the owner's fitted in this. Yeah, this is how you don't want to see it. We look there, we've got a 13 amp fuse which is never going to blow. The live should pull out first, but they've not left much on the neutral there. It should definitely have a 3 amp fuse in. Unfortunately, I've got one. I won't use that one. I'll put a new fuse in that and rewire the plug a little bit better before I put that with the Atari. I mean, I've seen them a lot worse, but at the very least, it needs that fuse changing for 3 amp. I have one here that has a 5 amp in it, so we'll use that for testing. Right, it's a bit of a shame about the case there, but it's not the end of the world. I'm not that bothered about it. Make sure that's off. Might as well plug the monitor in while we're back here as well. That's monitor plugged in. I've got the mouse plugged in. My joystick's gone. Well, we can get it working. We can always find a joystick and plug a joystick in. Right, let's plug the power in. Let's switch the monitor on. I'll get you up so you can see the monitor as well as the computer. I can zoom you out any further, can't I? Nope. Nope. Right, so let's get the monitor on, like we said. Menu. I've got that set to PC at the moment. Move that across to SCART. That should be in SCART now. There we go. Right, let's try the computer. So let's switch on. Well, the disk drive's made noise, but we've just got a white screen. I don't know why we've just got a white screen. I would presume we should get Gem up there. I wonder if it's not lighting the monitor or what. How are the other connections on my thing? Just in case it's a connection issue. Don't seem to be. Ah, there we go. I don't know if it just took a while to boot, or I was having an issue with the, or whether I was having an issue with the connector there, but it's working now. Reasonably sharp image. So at least what the seller said was right. It does boot, but can we read a floppy disk? Now what I've done. If you watch my previous video on that bridge computer, I used that because I knew this was on its way, and I've made some Atari ST discs. Now I don't know whether these are going to work. I haven't a clue whether these are going to work or not actually. We can just give it a try. And so these have never seen an ST. These were all made on a PC. Let's try something that we might have a chance. We've got lemmings here. Let's see if it can actually see the disc. Open. Well, it can read the disc. So I'm not I'm not that au fait really with the Atari ST. I never used to have an ST. I was an Amiga guy and then went straight from Amigas to PCs. The only thing I know about the desktop here actually is the fact that it's Gem desktop that was used on the old Amstrad PC 1512 and 1640. That's where I know the desktop from, because I used to have a Amstrad PC 1640, well, 1512. I upgraded to a 1640 years ago. Do these discs auto boot? I really am on a learning curve here, because it's got auto there. So if I switch the computer off and back on, oh, that's just the obviously the video connector is a little bit iffy. If I switch the computer off with that disc in, and I switch it back on, will it just auto boot that disc like an Amiga will? I don't know. It looks like it will. Right. I haven't got a clue what I'm doing here. 0, 0, 1. Enter. This should start this. Here we are. I've never played Lemmings on a Atari ST before. I've only ever played Lemmings. I used to play it on the Acorn Archimedes at school, because we had some dodgy copies of Lemmings on the Acorn Archimedes at school. I played it on the PC, obviously, and I played it on the Amiga. I've got it for the Amstrad 6128, the CPC 6128, but I've never actually bothered playing it. And I've never played it on the ST before before now. If we can get any volume. I don't know if we've got any audio working or not, actually. We'll play with audio at a later date. But the ST does appear to work. Oops, excuse me. That's one for Andy. Right, let's have a look. One player. I don't know if we've got any audio or not. We'll see in a minute, because this should play with a tune if we have. Just dig the classic first level of Lemmings. Let's press them out. What I will say, the audio is awful compared with the Acorn PC and Amiga versions. Thought the Atari was going to be a really good music computer, although it just uses a really. It's using the same Yamaha chip, audio chip as like the Sega Master System and things like that, and the Spectrum Plus 2 and Plus 3. It doesn't have a really fancy sound chip in it like the Amiga does. So I don't suppose it's too bad. I don't think we've got it working properly either way, because one of these speakers isn't working properly on my monitor. Anyway, that's enough for that. Let's try some other games, see if some of these other games work. Well, yeah, I'm a bit miffed about the fact that the case has been damaged like that in transit, but I'm happy that the computer works. I'm happy that the disk drive works. Let me just see if I can quickly find the joystick, 'cause I'm itching to just play through a few more of these games that That'll do. It's not ideal, but that'll do. Oops. Ah, come on. Right. We've got the old Sega Master System controller here. Something I don't like about the ST is the fact that you have to pick the computer up to plug joysticks and mice and things in. I do somewhere have one of the little ST breakout cables. You know, it's about 8 inches, 12 inches long, and allows you to break this out to outside the bottom of the computer, because I think that was a really, really daft design. Stupidly daft design by Atari, that. Why couldn't they just have it on the side of the back like everyone else? Right, let's see where we're go at playing. So literally, these are ones I've just downloaded off the web, and I used Omniflop on that bridge computer that I showed in my previous video. I just picked some random games that I'm familiar with from like on the Amiga, and burnt them down to some old floppy disks. I mean, some of these are actually old high density disks that I've just covered the high density hole up. It's not recommended doing that, but it does work when you're literally just having a fiddle about like this. Well, let's see what else we've got. We've got Bomb Jack here. Let's try that. Let's try Bomb Jack. And I'm presuming all these are the same. You just put the disc in and switch the computer on. It's a bit like the old Amigas in the way that the disc just boot. Or maybe not. We've obviously got a slightly dodgy socket on the back there, because that's a bit... How do we get a file open? Is that how we do it? In fact, that one's not working. Maybe that game didn't copy properly, or maybe it was just a bad image. Let's try something else. We've got Turbo ST. I'm not sure what this one is. Okay, let's open. No. Let's try switching it off and really let's just see which ones of these discs that I've played about with are actually going to boot and work. That doesn't seem to auto, but that doesn't seem to be doing anything either. Perhaps that just didn't work. So that's another one. I mean, I've tried these discs. I formatted these on a PC at 720k and verified I had no bad sectors. And then just used Omniflop to reformat them to the ST format with the image on it. Let's try this. No, these aren't working. Let's, well, we know that the computer seems to be actually functioning, at least. Not going to do anything? No, again. Well, Lemmings worked anyway. Let's try this one. We've got. I thought let's try that. See if this one works. No, this isn't looking good, is it? Floppy drive hasn't just died on us, has it? That'd be a bit bad, wouldn't it? The floppy drive just... let's try that Lemmings disc, so we know that at least read. If that still reads. Yeah, that reads. Perhaps it is just that some of these images didn't work. Let's try another one. Hopefully we'll get something else to work apart from just lemmings. Be a bit dismal if all we've got to play with is lemmings. That doesn't seem to work. I suppose lemmings is better than nothing. And we will probably have to look into doing something a little better than just loading off floppy disk. No, we're not doing very well here. Let's try Altered Beast. Ah, now that one works. So hopefully we'll try that one after. So we've got Altered Beast we can try. We've got a Dizzy disc. We've got Dizzy here. I'm not sure what Dizzy it is actually. Oh, let's click off that. Click on there. Open. Let's see if this one works. Yeah, that works. Okay. Let's see if the other Dizzy disc works. Well, that's disc 2, so we don't need to worry too much about that. I've got Paperboy. Let's try Paperboy. Yeah, that loads. Well, it comes up to... Right, does that... Is that auto, or do you have to load it through here? I don't know. Loader. Try switching it off and seeing whether it'll auto boot. We've got a few games there we can give a quick try to. I presume you have to... I'm really guessing what you do here. Like I say, I'm not Let's see if the game will actually load and we can play it. The graphics don't look too dissimilar to them on the Amiga, to be fair. I mean, I don't think it was up there with the Amiga graphics-wise. I don't think it was quite as powerful as the Amiga. But it doesn't look terrible. That does. I think that's just... Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not... We've proved the game works. Right. We've got at least we've got another game we know that we know works. We've got 2 there that work. Let's try Rampage. I keep trying to go Control Alt Delete, and I couldn't even do that if I wanted to because one of the output keys is missing. But do they have a reset on these? Yes, they do. Let's see if this is going to load. No, but let's see if we can get it to load this way. File, open. So we're looking for .pig, are we? Rampage. Sound.bin. Open. See if this is going to work. It's a case of learning along with this one because like I say, I'm not really familiar with the Atari ST. I know this has only got 0.5 meg of RAM in it, I wonder how easy it would be to upgrade to a 1040, put the extra RAM in it. I'm sure we'll do another video on this as well, and perhaps looking at the... That don't look bad. We'll do another video on this and looking at the other ST that I've got. Let's see if we can build one nice ST out of the two. Like I said, the other one, the board's trash, the disk drive doesn't work in it, but the case is in nice condition, the keyboard's in nice condition. The power supply's been rebuilt already. Although I might go through the power supply out of this one, because I know I could sell the rebuilt supply. Can't figure out what to do. F1. Where's the F keys? There they are. S. I'm sure I've got the controls set up somewhere wrong, but the game works. That's all I really wanted to see. So we've got another game that works. Let us try Altered Beast. See if Altered Beast's going to work for us. Got some lovely old Cracktros. Cracked by illegal, traded by illegal, and checksum. Let's see if it's going to load anyway. I mean, so far, I think we've got about 40-60. 40% failures, 60% of the games are actually working so far. I might have to have just another play with Omniflop and see if I was doing anything wrong, because I did get a few error messages up while I was writing some of the discs. I don't know whether that one's loading or it's crashed. It's not really telling you. The drive lights are on and it's trying to read, but let's see if anything comes up. If not, we'll just have a quick look at that Dizzy game and we'll call it quits for today. No, that doesn't look like it's wanting to load. Let's try this Dizzy game as a last thing. So that's one that's not working. Let's try Dizzy. Well, that's starting to boot. Now I haven't got a clue what this is. It's just called Dizzy's Excellent Adventure. Alright, so we've got different, we've got Spellbound Dizzy, we've got F1, Quick Snacks, I don't know what that is, F2 Spellbound Dizzy and F3 Prince of the Yolkfolk. Let's try F2. Let's just see if this is going to work. Okay. Well, that seems to be work anyway, no matter what. Right, I'll think I'll reset that. But yeah, the good news, like I said, the good thing is that the Atari ST does actually, I mean, the seller was bang on with it. The case is tatty as hell, but the actual computer itself, you know, apart from that, it is in working order. Trying to load the disk that isn't there. Let's just try doing another quick reset so we can get the operating system back up. So I presume you should just be able to eject it and just leave it, and it should just come up with the it should just come up with the oh, this is the one that didn't let's try a different one. This didn't do anything last time I tried it. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's one of these discs that just isn't working at all. But looks at the computer seems to be. I'm quite pleased. I'm definitely quite pleased with the computer. We've actually got a base that we can build a decent one out of the case and the other bits that I've got. We'll possibly look at perhaps fixing some form of floppy emulator into it. I don't want to lose the internal drive if I can help it. But I would like to see if I could perhaps fit a internal Gotek or some kind of floppy emulator to the one that we actually finish off and build, just for the ease of getting software onto there. I did see a hard drive unit going at a reasonable price, so I might think about. I know you've got modern things like that, is it the Ultra Satan and stuff like that, but I'm more old school. If I can get an old school style hard drive running, I'd be quite happy. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there for now. It was really just a quick little video to unbox this thing and see whether it was actually going to function or not. So, and it does. I'm reasonably happy with that. It's a shame about this case is now total trash. It's just a good job I have got a good case that this can go in. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching and goodbye.